All right, so here we have the Mateen waffle maker with the grill plate on the inside. I want to thank Mateen for sending us this unit here so we can do an honest demo and review for you guys. We are going to do the waffle maker steak challenge. Basically, we're going to attempt to cook a steak in a waffle maker. Now, with these waffle makers, these are, of course, they're not grills, but they do get pretty hot, and it is going to cook it from both sides, which is going to help with the searing. Now, we're going to give this every possible chance to cook a steak to a medium rare that we can. So what I've done here is I have patted this steak completely dry with a paper towel. I've let it come up to room temperature, so that way there's the least amount of heating that the grill is going to have to do. I've also salted the steak on both sides to allow those water-soluble proteins to make their way towards the outside of the meat. And then I've hit it with a little bit of vegetable oil to increase the amount of heat energy conduction on the grill. That plus the pressure that we're going to be putting in, because it's actually going to, kind of push into it like a panini. That's about all we can do. The only other thing in that is going to be is how hot can this press get. So a couple times I've tested the high temperature on this. It'll hit about 450, which is a little low if I was going to be doing this on a stovetop or let's just say I was going to sear it in a pan. You'd want to see that around 500, but I think we can get at least something like an approximation of a sear. We'll definitely be able to cook it, and we'll definitely be able to get hopefully something like a medium rare. So while this is heating up, I'm just going to pull out a timer here as well, because this is going to go very fast. It is a thin piece of meat there. We don't really want to cook it for that long. So we've got a timer going on here. I'll actually go to stopwatch and thermometer. We'll check the temperature here. All right, so we're only at like 360 right now. We'll let this heat up, and then we'll put it on the grill as soon as it's ready. Okay, so we should be all hot here now. Steam's a good sign. It's about 430, maybe 450. We're going to go ahead and put that on. You can hear the sizzle. That's always a good sign. And I just put it in right now. This is about a we'll say it's like a 3/4 of an inch steak, maybe even a little bit less once you put it in there. The maximum height that this says it can do is 3/4 of an inch. I didn't feel any resistance when I put the lid on, so I don't know if the top plate is making full contact with the steak. That's going to be something that we are going to want to keep in mind as we turn this on. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to reset my timer here, and we'll let that go. We definitely want to be hearing that sizzle. That's a good sound. We're going to let this go for probably, that's a pretty small steak. We're going about 400 degrees. I'm going to say we're going to go like a minute 30, maybe 2 minutes, just because I let it go for like 30 seconds before I started the timer. All right, so we're at about, I'd say we're about 1 minute total cooking time right now. Obviously, you guys will know better because you have the timestamp on the video. We're going to keep going. Still hear the sizzle. That's a good sign. It is slowing down a little bit. I saw the light come back on. That means it's going to start to turn the heating element back on. It's going to bring that up. So that means the steak was dropping the temperature of the grill plates. You see that green light right there? That's the heating element turning back on, and it's going to try to make its way back up to full temp. All right, so we're about a minute 30 right now for total cook time. Definitely don't think it's done based on the sound and knowing that the temperature's dropped some. We're coming up right now on 2 minutes. I'm going to try not to open it either, because once I open it, it is going to get cool. Okay, I can hear the bubbles are starting faster. That heating element is picking up. Okay, we're a little over 2 minutes right now. I think if we actually had a thicker steak, we probably could get a more even cook. Because I didn't get that resistance closing this down, I don't think we have full contact on the top. All right, we're now at about 2 minutes and 30. I'm gonna go about 20 more seconds. See all the steam coming out? If I open this up and it is brown, I'm gonna pull it off. So we're coming up right here on about 3 minutes. I can smell some of that vegetable oil cooking off. We're gonna check it right now, right around 3 minutes. And we're definitely no sear marks. But I do think we're just about done. So we might not be able to get a full crust on this, but I do think we do have a cooked steak. All right, so we're about 3 minutes, 15 seconds, give or take. All right, 3:30, I'm gonna pull it off. All right, we'll put it on there, and we will let that rest, and then we'll cut it open and just see what it looks like. Just the slightest grill marks you can see right here. That's where I think having a thicker steak would be the way to go. We do have rendering on the fat, so that's good. But we'll see how it cuts open in a few minutes. All right, so here we have rested our steak for about 4 minutes. It was about a 3.5-minute cook, so I do think we're good to cut into it. Just take that off right there, and we'll see where this guy landed. And by the looks of it, we do have about as close to a medium rare as you can do on a steak this thin. So I think if I was to do this again, I would definitely use a thicker steak. You can see we did get some Maillard reaction right here. So you can see right there, we are getting those grill marks, but in the middle we didn't. And that's because the middle I think is just too thin. So I think if we go with a thicker steak and then maybe another minute or so, I think that would work pretty well. But all things considered, tastes pretty good.